Science has learned that all people possess mental powers which pass the boundaries of the natural.
Ghosts, Bigfoot, extraterrestrials,
Parahub Radio,
psychics, parapsychology, Loch Ness Monster,
Parahub Radio,
paranormal news, giveaways, open chat,
Parahub Radio,
classic rock, and paranormal talk. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, at parahub.org, bounceradio.net, and beastradio.com.
Wondering where you can get the latest news and reviews from the world of paranormal entertainment? Frank and Laura take a look at the latest happenings and break down what's new on TV and at the movies each week on Spooktacular, your paranormal entertainment roundup. Check them out by searching for Spooktacular in iTunes or head on over to Spooktacular.com. Oh yeah, be sure to bring along a friend because no one should listen alone.
to share a recent experience where I strongly believe that I encountered a shadow person.
When I looked, it was January 5th, 2046.
I just, I want to find an explanation for it. I want to rule it out as, something that was logical.
There are many things we have yet to learn about and understand. Join us here at Supernatural Existence and learn about the many mysteries of the universe. Feel free to subscribe via any of your favorite podcast directories, including iTunes, or check us out on the Supernatural Existence website at www.glowby.com. The mysteries are waiting to be understood.
I really want to see something supernatural with my own eyes, not hear it or think I heard it or anything like that, actually see it with my own eyes, capture it on camera, hear something weird or something like that.
This is Ghostly Talk.
I am composed again.
I am actually... I'm getting my zone.
We are talking to the folks from Parahub Radio, Pete and Roughhouse, parahub.org. And
we have a
bunch of ghost divas.
We have all the ghost divas here.
A bunch of them. Go
get the gun! Go get the gun!
Amanda. We have Amanda, Janice, Tammy, Tanya, and Tanya H. and Tanya K. www.ghostdivas.com.
We were talking about
I lost my composure.
Yeah, and then Doug lost it. We were.
Fun,
I don't know how we got to that, but let's cap it off.
It was either Pete or Ruff.
No, it was Ruff. Ruff, you mentioned
the
MySpace thing, in which it's been mentioned plenty of times on here, and we were kind of talking about tools of the trade and whatnot, and that kind of
tools in the trade or tools of the trade.
Did I say tools in the trade?
Oh, no,
either way.
Yes, clarify.
I'm kind of flustered right now. I guess. Is that a
there
word
are
too?
a lot of both.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Tools of the trade. So
we call in that in category.
So I do. Okay, all right, I'm back.
That's what we were talking about.
No, yes, that's what we were talking about, and of course, we started talking about the whole promoting your ghost hunting group, and I've been asking this for a long time here, and I've had people email me. I'm sure everybody on the line here has got an email about this too, where it's like, well, how do I get myself out there and promote my group? And I always ask, like, why would you want to do that? Why do you want to do that? What's the reasoning for that?
Because they're stupid and desperate.
Whoa, okay, all right.
Well, maybe, but
that may be.
I think that I don't know, when we started ghost hunting, right, we did put up a webpage on, what was it, GeoCities or something.
Yeah, way back in the day, yeah.
And, and it just basically said, here's our little club or whatever, and here's what we're going to do, and here's what we are. And but we didn't, I don't think we sent out mass
We didn't send out press releases for it or anything like that. We just said we built a website because we wanted a place to put up our evidence, so everybody could look at it.
And it was something that we could, if we heard of a haunting or if somebody, a friend of a friend or something said, "Oh, my barn is just, things are flying off the walls."
Yeah,
we could say, "Well, we're doing this, and here's a little website if you want to read about us," and we'd like to come out and look at it and record it and see if we find any evidence. And that was all it was. Literally, it was not, "Oh my gosh, I got to get on TV."
Well,
oh my gosh, I got to get.
We didn't hire a web designer for it. First of all,
right? It was all just done.
It was just done. We kind of cranked it together. Yeah, it was a learning experience for all of us. And there's this, and I'll say it again, and I want you guys to chime in on this and tell me what you think, because there is this rock star mentality now.
Oh, look at the picture.
What a day for that conversation. Yeah.
Scott told me, and it's so true. I've seen it over and over. The penultimate ghost hunter group picture is of everybody with their arms folded in like a Charlie's Angels looking pose. Some people are sideways and some people are face forward, and some people are holding IR thermometers as if they're guns, and it's like, it's just not the is that really a group? Like, if you took a picture of your local high school chess club, or even the cheerleaders at your high school, or let's say your weekly book club at the library, would you all pose like that?
Absolutely.
Yes, I thought so. I am talking to quite a group.
The bad thing is, and this is my personal opinion, freaking nobody really in this field looks like a real rock star. A lot of people, they're especially the ones that I mean, really, go look around. There's people actually missing, like, teeth, and they never comb their hair, and they're in freaking little towns in Alabama, and they can't even speak properly, and they
no
think
offense to our friends in Alabama.
Yeah. But, sorry, but yeah, I mean, it's like, really, you think you're that damn cool, to be doing all that. It's like you're nerding out and you're a ghost hunter, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and I think it's cool to nerd out. We nerd out.
It is. Yeah. It's totally cool.
I own my nerdness.
Yeah,
nerds are smart.
Actually, I own your nerdness.
Oh, that's true. Bonnie owns my nerdness. Yeah.
No, I mean, I really want to get to the root of this, though, because that's some good points, Tanya. But there is this rock star mentality. I'm just wondering. Look, this is coming from someone, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. This is coming from someone who's played in several rock bands growing up. And the reason I really got into studying the paranormal is because it's been something I've done over the years, even in my young years. I don't have 30 years of experience in the field. I just had an interest for a lot of years, even when I was a little kid. And when I finally, said, it's time to do something else, and I wanted to study this thing and move into this thing and get more into it. Frankly, and I told you this, Doug, it's just that I'm like, I don't want to. I just want to work on this stuff and do this stuff and be cool with that. And it's turned into, to me,
competition and drama.
It's turned into the music business in a lot of ways. It scares the hell out of me. It's turned into the music business instead of a record contract now. We have a TV contract.
Yeah, right, a TV show.
It's the same thing, and it's really freaky. I mean, I don't hate anybody for doing that, but it's really freaky, and I'm just trying to get to the root of this, and I want to learn from everybody. I want to hear what everybody else has to say, because, what is the root of this? Why do people go to these lengths?
While we have, and related to that, while we have everybody from, 3 different shows on the line, one of Scott's pet peeves is that when, because obviously we've been around our names out, so people email us all the time asking, can we be on your show? Unfortunately, was it 2 years ago? About 2 years ago, things started changing. These requests changed. They changed from being, oh my gosh, we investigated 87 places and we found 412 ghosts and there was a demon and then we had to do an exorcism and blah blah blah. It went from that.
Well,
right?
It went from interesting ideas.
Yeah, to I would like to be on your show. I've been on this show. I've been on that show. I did 6 pilots. I met John Zaffis 6 times, and he said I was cool. It went to an entertainment resume. Is what it went to. Well, it became an entertainment resume as opposed to, I want to talk about ghosts on your show.
I want to talk about the paranormal. Have you guys experienced that?
Oh, absolutely. When we started doing our show, Parahub Radio, 2 years ago, the idea was to get the average Joe on to talk about what they did. Well, what happened is at that time, a few years ago, ghost hunters had come into its existence, and I think, and this is just my opinion, what happened, as soon as everybody kept, hey, did you see Ghost Hunters last night? Oh, yeah, you see this, that, and the other. When people start talking about it like that, it becomes the cool thing to talk about. Because, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't talk about seeing a ghost. Or the average person didn't talk, it was taboo to say that you had seen a ghost. Then this show came out and made it cool. Ghosts were cool all of a sudden. And then the networks picked up on that, and then they started doing all the other shows, and then they started scripting shows like Ghost Whisperer and Medium and whatnot. And that is when everybody started getting that rock star mentality. When people started doing their own pilots and all that kind of stuff, it became cool, and people want to be cool, and they want to be a rock star. And I think when ghost hunters, and I hate to use them, but to me that's when it all started. When about their second season, when people started texting each other, hey, did you see Ghost Hunters last night? That made it cool. That made it rock star.
Well, I can also tell you that I've gone out on cases that after I'm sitting down with them and going through my interview process, they would turn around and ask me, well, can you get a hold of Jason and Grant? Are they going to come out here now and come out to our house? And I'm like, no, this is it. And I said, we're not coming out here and looking at your house to see if it's going to go on a show. I mean, we're your help. And they're like, well, we saw Ghost Hunters and Jason and Grant and blah, blah, blah. And I would look at my guys and go, guys, let's pack it up. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Evidently, these people don't want help. They want to be entertained.
Oh, yeah. I agree. And this is the thing with, Tammy and I. Like, Tammy, I met her on a legitimate investigation. I've been in research in the field for, over 10 years. I worked with Pete a long time ago. You guys probably remember me from a long time ago. I was a GeoCities kid, too. Mm-hmm. And
we're 6.
Yeah. And, it was just one of them things where...
pictures, too, Tanya.
and what happened with, the thing is it took a turn for the worse, and then that's how we, me and Tammy, we just started getting mouthy, because we were really just sick and tired of that comparison. I mean, everywhere we went, it was just getting more stupid with people who, I'm like, we're here to help you or make sense of what's going on. And then the next thing you know, they're like, well, where's the TV people? We want to be on TV and all this stuff. So we started just being very vocal about what's going on in the field, and that's how we became, the Ghost Divas. And then, of course, we recruited other smart women that were not afraid to speak their minds and all that. I mean, but that's kind of how, with us, I mean, we started out, it was all good. It was very club, and message boards were not for advertising. It actually, people talked about theories and fun stuff and, good stuff, and then it just freaking went nuts. And,
right.
That's where we come in.
And, I noticed it myself when I went to go do an investigation of a hotel, of a Holiday Inn not far from Casadega, Florida, which is a spiritualist camp. And I figured it out about halfway through the investigation. They wanted us there so that we could tell them that it was haunted, and then they could use it in literature to sell that, part of the hotel. That's a selling point.
Exactly. I've gone to bed and breakfasts, and I've walked in there and have gone into a room that was supposedly that they were smelling perfume and had found open perfume packets under the bed. And I pulled them out, and I said, look, you're not putting my name on this bullshit because this is wrong. You're not going to put $50 extra on this room because you want to have the notoriety. And I gave them the stuff, and we walked out.
How do you feel? Hey, Pete, don't hold back now.
If a place, I think if a place is legitimately haunted and they really think it is, or they really have proof or what evidence or whatever that it might be, I don't have any problem with people. I don't have any problem with people marketing their business as haunted, because there are people that want to go there for that experience.
And these people also. Yeah, they read these books because they're travel. I mean, we write, Janice writes. I mean, we all are writers, and there's a big difference between writing for travel and adventure compared to ghost hunting and paranormal research. So, I mean, you just got to take it for what it is. I mean, now there are cases of places that exploit, and just like Pete said, they're setting stuff up and and being all stupid and shady about it. When they really don't need to. It's like, you have a cool little history. Why don't you just leave it at that and let people make up their own minds? But, there's always those people that take it to the next level.
I think that's where you have this marriage between, even your grassroots person out there trying to do some legitimate research and the adventure aspect, right? I think a lot of these...
there is an adventure to it.
Well, I think there is.
If I were to pick a bed and breakfast...
I'd pick a haunted one.
I would pick a haunted one if there was one available.
Hell yeah. Yep.
But I think what's going on is a lot of people, and I don't... How far we go into this conversation here, I don't want to deter people from getting into the field and studying into this stuff, but I think they should be...
Well, you should be doing it for the right reasons.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Pete. That's it right there.
Right, but that's the thing. It's like the right reason has shifted. People don't know what the right reason is anymore. They think it's a marketing gimmick and that it's a promotion and they're making money. And what they know getting in right now is like the worst time, because there's teams that's been around we've been around for 6 months, and we're already teaching classes and giving, all these lectures and hosting events. And it's like, dude, are you an event planner or are you a researcher? You can't, you've been in the field for 6 months. You can't be teaching anything.
And that's what I've been saying here all along, is that the paranormal we've created. And I'm not saying the field of paranormal has been created by, essentially, over the last couple of years here, a field's been created where there's a very, very low barrier to entry. Okay, and that's why you can get people that have 6 months, literally 6 months of experience, that can go out and give a lecture or give a seminar. Again, because it isn't like we were talking about with Sally a little while ago. Discipline.
The guest before this roundtable discussion and debacle was sorry,
it's going good now.
I think so too. The guest before this was, Dr. Sally Rhine Feather. Her father, J.B. Rhine, one of the, initial forefathers of paranormal research out at Duke University. You read about it in all the texts, right? And the cards, Zener cards. Come on. How many people are familiar with that?
Yeah.
Everybody. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, then you need to take down your MySpace ghost hunting site right now, right? But this is important key research in the paranormal, and she's setting up now these teleconferences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you've been in the field 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to multiple decades, 30? It said in our things, 30 decades or 30 years. I'm sorry, 30 years or something.
How old is that lady?
30 plus years that was as a clinical psychologist. That wasn't even when she was.
Well, the point is that there's a lot more experience to back that up.
She's got tons of experience, and she's got a lot to say on the matter, and she's putting together these little things. Well, the vignettes or whatever on the web, so that everybody can access it as long as you've got a computer. Well, what if you learn about MySpace.com/ BGIGGHG or whatever for ghost hunting group at the end. I don't know. And so you hear about that, and then you're going to go to their little class and pay your $10 donation or what have you, when you could go to, Rhine.org and learn from somebody who's been doing this in the field. Her family has been doing this literally since the beginning of the last century.
Well, again, like I said before, it's a very low barrier to entry in this field, and that's where people, ladies and gentlemen on the line, I'm sure you've had conversations with people where, it's come up, the subject's come up with the paranormal, and it then comes up naturally that, you study the paranormal or you do this with the paranormal or whatnot, and they will look at you and say, oh my goodness, well, and then they start asking you a lot of times interesting questions because they look at you as an authority in the field, right there and then in that. Do you guys follow what I'm saying?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And therein lies the problem: is people start believing that they are an authority in the field.
Mm-hmm. And being a woman, they all think we're psychic.
Oh no, I didn't even think of that. But you're right; I can see that.
Oh,
yeah.
Tanya H., you're really close, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm true. But they're all like, 2 weeks. Dead people. I'm like, no. Yeah, I will be soon.
How do you know? Is it like
because she's psychic?
She has a plan on July 1st. July 1st. We're working on it.
Wow.
I might come out. I might log on to the Supernatural Radio Network at midnight my time because it's me. It's in my realm. I'm going to go psychic live on the air. I'm going to make a change.
As long as it ain't postal, I'm all right with it.
I go psychic on you, but
just don't wake me up, and I don't want to hear the lawyers calling.
But we have a show that day.
Cool.
Amanda, we haven't heard from... I'm sorry, go ahead, Tammy.
Psychic Day. Go ahead. I thought I was going to interject.
I'm trying... Oh, my God. Amanda, we haven't heard that much from you.
Oh, I'm listening because I'm just agreeing with pretty much what everybody's saying. But you guys missed one thing. When people find out for the first time that you're a paranormal investigator, the first words I generally hear is, oh, my God, I love that show on TV. Yep. And I roll my eyes at them and say, stop right there.
Well, how many times is that followed by Ghost Hunters, and how many times is that followed by Paranormal Stage?
It's usually Ghost Hunters.
50-50?
Ghost Hunters.
Usually Ghost Hunters.
Always Ghost Hunters. Because the
Yeah,
general
and
public,
I always have to tell them not to watch the show
Okay.
because it's all. I'm like, don't watch the show. It's wrong. It's not real. It's entertainment. It's not real research.
Speaking of Paranormal State, how many groups out there on MySpace and what have you do you think were formed just to film a pilot?
Oh, a bunch.
A lot. A lot. 70% of them.
So about and I would agree. I think about 70% of what I've seen is just to film a pilot. I think that a few of them have fallen off. I think that there are abandoned groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Completely abandoned. They developed logos, they developed T-shirts, they developed tough-looking photos, they developed really, and they all did exactly the same thing. It's like they had like a little list, you know. Oh, first we need a logo, and then we need initials.
From Scott.
We need initials.
They have to have the initials.
Yeah, we need alphabet soup. We need and we'll stir it up and see what initials pop up at us, and then we'll make a name out of it.
Well, okay.
And then we need all these things, and it's like they went down the line, and then A&E or Sci-Fi just never called.
Nope.
So they're what do they do then? Well, they abandon it. They're on to the next thing.
Well, it's next hobby. You know, that's cool. I mean,
but I think some of them might have been really interested. Some of them might still be out on the boards, but not a member of any active group or something, and maybe still paying attention to paranormal stuff. But
yeah, you know the
not.
show on A&E called The Exterminators. They were once ghost hunters. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Oh, are you kidding me? That's a new one I've heard. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, fine. So we've established this fact. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Where, I guess, as the people who, to speak from the point of the people who do this because they like the research, they like the work, it's interesting to them, it's intellectually stimulating to them. From that point of view, where does it go from here? Looking out there right now and seeing the landscape of what's going on, and I've made predictions. I made predictions back in 2007, like, in a couple of years this will be all over with. Okay, it's been well over 2 years, and what do you guys see?
I used to think that about rap music too.
No kidding. Anyways.
Yeah, I kept hoping it would just, kind of die off, and the newness would wear off, and it would kind of go away, but it's not.
No,
it's not.
It's getting worse.
I think it's getting worse. Politics are starting to play into things more.
It's an infestation.
And it's saturated.
It's an infestation. It's polluted, and it's just become a big freaking joke.
Well,
where's my can of Raid?
G-Raid. We need. What about then? Where do you go then to talk to a whole bunch of paranormal enthusiasts? And I don't mean. I mean, there's going to be certain ones of these where it's going to be fan people, right? But there'll be other ones that are really interested. People are really interested in the paranormal, and I'm talking about conferences. There's literally a plethora of conferences a couple of years ago, and that's dwindled down to a handful now, a nice handful. And do you think that the conferences that are going on now this year and perhaps next year, are they the ones that are worth it? Are they the ones that people would go to and really talk about ghosts, or are they trying to get Jane Grant's autograph?
Well, I think that, and not just because it's ours, but I think that our conference is one that's definitely worth it because we have great conversations that take place. And we have a few people that have recognizable names, but we don't go for the all-out, big guys on TV thing. We don't go for any of that. We go for people that actually have something interesting to say to people. And we get I think we have a lot of great people that come to the conference to learn and that speak. And I think that there are some that are really good. And I think there are some that suck. There are some that they don't really care if they teach you something. They just want their conference to be the one that has the big name. Yeah. And they don't care about shitting on their friends as long as they get the guy with the big name.
Speaking of TAPSCon, did any of you go?
No. Well, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. They ripped everybody off.
Yeah, I know.
Hey guys, I hate to be a fun governor. We got to watch the language just a little bit. We're going to get in trouble.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just going on.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to watch it just a little bit. We're going to get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be a fun governor, and whoever, if they're mad at me, you're mad at me. I'm sorry.
Fun hater.
No, I apologize. No, I understand there is a lot of emotions flying here, and you guys, everybody in this chat, well, especially on the breaks, now this show.
Well, the break
right now, you've been hearing me
yeah.
throw 4-letter words all over the place. Yeah, but, you know, I know we're kind of emotional right now,
yeah.
but no, like I just totally destroyed that, didn't I?
Yeah, you really did. This is fun governing going on.
I'm done.
I'm done now.
I'm sorry, damn it.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
Well, back to the subject though. I
mean,
please. The thing is there's a lot of, I mean, I've watched where people broadcast their little things on the internet and stuff like that, and there's some really crummy speakers out there, and they're getting paid and all this, and I'm like, I don't care if you have a name, you're a horrible speaker. In what you're having, I mean, we've had our presentations where it looks like somebody's modified it, what we do as when we go speak at events, and they modified it into something else, and then pretty much they got up there and whined about their drama the entire time. That's not good speaking, and it's like, come on, really? I mean, you can get up there and whine about your life and how much drama has taken place, but people are paying money to go hear crap like that, and it's just like, I mean, so the fan thing, I think there's just more fans that are willing to, they're so wrapped up, they don't know any better.
Well, if you were, let me
all the money they're charging right now, a couple of them are charging like $250.
Yeah.
We'll see if those fly or not. I don't think they're going to do that well, charging that kind of money.
Well, let me ask you guys this question, because this raises a very, very interesting point. If you were a person and you know that your interest was sparked, you know, in the paranormal, let's say a couple months ago, and you've been going to the library and doing some reading, you may have watched a couple of TV shows, you may have listened to a couple of paranormal talk shows on the web or whatever it may be, so you got your feet wet a little bit, and you go like, I'm going to go to a conference, one of these conferences, right? And you go there and you listen to someone speak, and you go there, and when I go to a conference, I'm expecting to listen to speakers that have something to say. Okay, they want to talk about a theory, or maybe with the book that they've done, the research they've done with a book. They want to talk about a myriad of things that have to do with research and trying to push themselves or the field forward. And then you go into a conference and you listen to someone speak about drama within the field. Right. I would, if you were someone new to this field, if it was me and I totally washed out everything in my mind that I know, right, that I can't forget, and I didn't know it though, and I came in there and somebody gets up there and goes, well, you know what, we all have to, this person says this about this person, and that person says this about this person's brother, sister's boyfriend, and then this person says that, I wouldn't understand that. I'd be like, what's going on here? I thought we were going to talk about ghosts or UFOs or something here. To me, that would be a major turnoff if I was new to the field and had to sit through an hour or a half an hour of that. Do you guys follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, unless you were a hardcore fan.
Right.
Some of the hardcore fans will sit there for some of the lousiest speakers because they see them on TV. They're a big fan, and they're going to sit there and listen no matter what these people are saying.
Because they don't know better. They don't know any better.
Yeah, that's a hardcore fan. But, again, I'm going to say, if I was a person that didn't have a poster on my wall that said whatever TV show. I mean, somebody brand new that just that's green, right? They're green, and they come in and they go to a conference, like I said, and they hear that. I mean, it would be a major turnoff to me personally. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand the hardcore fans. I mean, this is what they live for, apparently.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
The thing is people today think they have to know somebody that has a TV connection to survive in the field. I mean, they need a marketing director, they need an agent, they need all this stuff, and they don't. And that's the thing. It's like, we get from if you go to my website, I mean, it's like totally like turns people off. I don't get a whole lot of like residential stuff, but legitimate people contact me because they don't want the fluff. But like people coming in new, there's no outlets, and that's the thing. It's like more and more shows, like especially here on Supernatural Radio Network, it's smart radio, and that's the news little slogan. But we've been telling everybody, I'm like, this station, I mean, and I'm not just sucking up either, it's not full of the bells and whistles and love and light and all that crud. It's real stuff.
Well, they're not up any TV shows, but
right, and that's the thing is, you don't have to be affiliated with a TV show or have that link or know a producer or local news team, a television station or anything like that to make a team. It's just the mindset's wrong, and people who are hosting these conferences and things like that, they really need to start researching these speakers instead of just looking at that name, and saying, oh, ticket sales. They really need to research what their content is, because there are people who want to learn. We have a decent conference, and we're also going to be hosting the very first ever all women's, like legitimately for real, all women paranormal conference. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize, I mean, there's a lot of women out there that they have no clue. They're being led. I mean, literally, let me take your hand and you're going to become this love and light kind of person, because it's just overcrowded. It's insane. That people are starved. They want to learn. Just nobody's giving it to them right now.
Well, Doug, were you going to say something?
The love and light kind of person. Are you talking about, like, see, when I grew up, right, this was decades and decades and decades ago, there was, that was what we merely thought of as the paranormal. It was all, the very holistic, although they didn't apply that word to it. I think that word wasn't invented until the 80s. But, it was very holistic. It was very, love and light and peace and tree hugging. And, it was all very touchy-feely and spiritual. Metaphysical, that's a good word. And that's what the paranormal was to a lot of people. And it, to me, that was actually a big turnoff. We have a magazine here, right? And I don't even remember its name now, but we have this magazine, and they do the holistic festivals and all that. But I remember going to a psychic fair, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Right?
We tried to go to one together, remember, years ago, and it didn't happen.
But there's all these, like, old bingo mamas dressed in, like, all these frilly things and scarves and things, and they were sitting, with these elaborate setups, and then they would tell your future, and it was so incredibly cool. You could buy crystals and all these wonderful little gizmos or not gizmos, but little trinkets from all over the world, and everything meant something, and I didn't know what any of it meant, but I thought it was just so incredibly interesting. And then I read the magazine the magazine that sponsored it, and I thought, oh my gosh, these people are talking about how wonderful everything is at all times, and it'll be okay, everything's going to be okay, and you'll be okay, and I can heal you, and I thought, okay, that's all really hokey, and I just threw that away. Now, of course, I'm a little more educated, and I think there is some truth to that. I don't think that that's the way that the universe works, though, completely. I think there's a negative side to the universe as well. However, all that aside, that's what the paranormal was touchy-feely, holistic, whatever. Now, I don't think that's what the paranormal is. The paranormal
is
still
touchy-feely.
You are. Too much. But
too much?
Not inappropriately, though, except for those couple of times that I didn't report.
Tanya, am I too much?
Never.
But now I think the paranormal now mostly is based on TV. It's the ghost hunting, and it's the have a demon follow you around all the time for no apparent reason.
Bob is real.
Bob is real, yes. And
okay, well, if we're gonna make that assumption, I mean, and I've asked already, so, like, what can we do?
It's changed the definition of paranormal to me in the mainstream. That's
yeah. And based on that, and this is why I'm saying, and I want the panel to chime in on this, please, because. And we every once in a while we do discussions. We get to speak in front of people, which we think it's pretty funny and whatnot.
Because mostly we just point at people and ask them questions.
Yeah, but one of the things I always like to point out, though, because we always seem to end up on this subject, is what's your goal? What are you trying to do? And I'm like, well, you know what? My goal has become, it used to be back in the day. Well, I'd like to, prove something. I'd like to do something to, add to the body of evidence. But now it's become more of a personal quest. I mean, as far as, I have no problem. I went to Mansfield Reformatory a couple weeks ago, and I had no problem walking in the hallways by myself with a flashlight. And if something happened... Well, no, I'm not saying like, look how tough I am. But no, I'm just saying, like, I was out there, and if something happened to me, and it's my experience, and if I don't have a picture of it, if I don't have an EVP of it, I don't really care. I'm not out. I don't care. This is my hobby. It's what I want to do with my time, and I don't need to sit there and have to prove something to everybody else.
Amen.
Like, well, no, I'm doing that thing.
Yes,
so,
I agree.
You guys
Amen.
follow what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Because
well, and the thing is that I mean, we've been called jaded and stuff. I mean, and I think once you've been in the field after a certain amount of time, you get to that point. I think you're at a great point because I'm at the same point you are. I mean, I think all of us are. I mean, because we're like, nobody's gonna. I mean, who are we gonna prove this to? The local media that's gonna play howling, spooky music when they roll the clip on the news. I mean, who are we proving this to? We have nothing to prove.
What about the dreaded Ghostbusters theme?
Oh yeah,
Ghostbusters
Who are you gonna
or
call?
X-Files.
Yeah.
X-Files theme. It's all been done.
Well, yeah, and it just comes down to that. I mean.
Well, and the thing too is people when they're all these scientific investigators with their K2 meters and they're all their shit from the hardware store. Sorry. They think they're all scientific, and I'm like, and while they're being all scientific, everybody is leaving out the personal experience part. Yep. And the personal experience part is, to me, the most important part. Because
going back to the haunted bed and breakfast.
I know what happened.
Haunted bed and breakfast. Haunted bed and breakfast. What was that?
Yeah, go back to that haunted bed and breakfast because we like all of it. I know Janice writes for it. I write for it, and I encourage adventurous travel. And why not go if you can go actually stay in one of these places, with your boyfriend or girlfriend or by yourself or whatever, or with a bottle of rum. Go stay in it and get your own little experience. I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
but that does not make you an expert or a ghost hunter by doing that.
No, it don't. But why? That's my question. I guess I'm asking.
But who's written it anywhere that the ghost hunters are the only ones that can tell you if you've had a paranormal experience or not?
No. What I'm saying
because
is
your personal experience is important.
What I'm saying is people will go and do that, and then they'll go build a website.
Oh, yeah, and then go, I'm a ghost hunter. Yeah.
I've been ghost hunting. I'm an expert now because this is what happened.
No, I think that's what I keep asking, though, is just that. I mean, obviously, I think we all agree on my point, but that's what I keep asking, like, what are you trying to get out of this? What are you trying to learn? Are you trying to grow? I know for a fact, and I can say this with all confidence, and I know Doug is in the same boat, that when we started doing, our little event, wow, what is that?
Somebody's building an airplane.
Yeah, who's doing construction?
They want out of here bad.
I let Stampy in, sorry.
I know that I've grown in, as far as my knowledge and learning and even personal maturity and personal growth as a result of studying the paranormal and doing the radio show and all that fun stuff too. And I think that's worth it right there to me as far as having a cool hobby.
Though.
Yeah, what's up?
I have a question. So
12 inches.
So people who, let's say you've
divided by 4.
Sorry, Tanya. What was your question?
Okay, so say all these people get in the field because they've witnessed something, or they've lived in a place, or went on a freaking tour at the Queen Mary or whatever, and then all of a sudden they're experts. Now, what about the people who have never witnessed anything and they're in the field to witness something only because they've never witnessed anything? Are they still able to claim expert like the
Absolutely not. They're just trying to have an experience, and that's a cool thing. But I mean, look, there's three. I'll say the 3 words here. Wait, I haven't said it before. The word professional, the word scientific, and the word expert. Those 3 words have been beaten to death over the last couple of years, in my opinion, as far as the paranormal is concerned. I hate pulling emails, that we get from people, but some lady told us that we didn't act professionally sometimes on our show, and my response simply was, look, honey, we are not professionals. We are amateurs at this. We do this all on our own. We've never said we're a professional show. We've never once said that in the past ever. No, that's fine.
Amen.
But again, it's the idea that because there's a microphone in front of me right now, and there's one in front of Doug, and there's one in front of Bonnie, and you guys have microphones in front of you right now, that gives us, again, some type of professional accreditation that we're professional broadcasters, which isn't the case. Thank God for the Internet, we can do that kind of stuff now, right? So we're not professionals. So, again, there's these 3 terms right there, and again, they're getting thrown around way too much. And it's scary to see that. Because
that's why I've always said that you have to have a background before you get into the study. Like for instance, and I hate to keep bringing his name up. Lloyd. Lloyd is a parapsychologist. He's got the background for it. He was that before he got into this. And so that me personally, I look at that as as not so much of an expert but a professional, because he's got the background. Myself, I'm a hypnotherapist. I bring that in. So I would say that I have a background to help folks. But
I'm a professional event planner, by the way.
Do you get paid?
Yes.
Okay, kick butt. Then you are a professional event planner.
And if
somebody
people
knight
want to
her
put on a
right now.
conference,
Yeah.
If they want to put on a conference with good speakers, they need to consult in people who are professional event planners.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
and matching T-shirts do not make people professional.
No, they don't.
Makes you look like a sports.
As a matter of fact, we decided we're not. I mean, wait.
Yeah.
I wore my
We've
Ghostly.
talked about
We've talked about this, and we said we're not wearing our matching Ghostly Talk T-shirts anymore when we go to conferences. I think I wore mine anyways. Because
right, and
what else am I going to wear?
I would have worn mine if I weren't like running out the house from From
but it's something. It's something we've discussed.
From being haunted. No, from having worked all day. But no, we discussed it, and we really don't. We want to break that image. Being in identical T-shirts all the time.
Yeah, we don't share a
so
brain.
I can wear my porn T-shirts now.
Yes.
Yeah, wear whatever you want. I mean, no, but again.
And you said the key word right there. You don't share a brain. And these teams, they're all uniform, and that just shows that everybody thinks exactly the same. They're identical.
Well,
and that's their whole
think for yourself like everybody else. The old saying. I mean,
and wear stilettos. Wear stilettos to Waverly and do it. And do it right.
Yeah, really do it. And then report on that, because that would be interesting.
Well, plus the clients really don't want to have a whole bunch of people running around and bringing attention to what's going on, because if you look at it, their home is they have money in their home, and you're gonna take away possibly of what they have in the home. Or what if they have 6-year-old children that start getting hazed because they live in the haunted house in the corner because you have a whole bunch of people coming up in Ecto 1.
Stigmatized property, stigmatized families. That's right.
Well, no, that does, again, that's an interesting point, because if you own a home, and I mean, I'm private like that too. If a bunch of 10 people come, look, if you go out in public, if you're like in the mall, right? You're walking around, you're at the mall, you go to get your stuff, and you're cool.
Do you really walk like that?
I walk like that in the mall.
You walk like a jockey riding a horse.
I sashay in the mall. Right?
He's like, you're at the mall, and he's like got his. It's just like exactly like a jockey.
Okay, so you're walking in the mall, right?
Yeah, now that's more like it, Bonnie. It should be a stride, a confident
You should actually
stride.
look like a man when you walk at the mall. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I get my big belt buckle.
Your big belt buckle?
With my hat. No, anyways.
But yeah,
if you're at the mall and I'm with my girl, right? I'm with Amber. We don't wear matching shirts ever. We try not to. We have a couple of the same shirts, but we don't do that. But we're going, and then all of a sudden we see a group of We see a group of people that are like coming, 10 people, right? And they all have matching T-shirts on. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna go, what the hell's going on over there? What are they doing? What are they doing to have matching shirts? Now, if you do this in front of your house. Okay, things could get kind of weird.
So it becomes an event, and But no, I think if a ghost group or whatever wants to wear their matching T-shirts at the mall, that at least is, not that's like safe territory. That's like you don't have to go to the mall, like you didn't have to see that. But if you wear your matching T-shirts to my neighbor's house, I'm gonna be like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, what's going on over
there? Why didn't
my
neighbor call me? But also I'd be like,
what's going on over there? What was
that?
A friend of mine was with me when we were pulling in where I used to live in this apartment complex, and we were pulling in, and there was a PT Cruiser, and it had all the writing about this local ghost hunting team and all that. Not just a mag, and I'm talking the whole PT Cruiser was all about their names and ghost hunting, and all their website was all over. Like, this cruiser was decorated to the T with this ghost team's name. So, yeah, they're rolling in, and now everybody's going to be thinking that somebody's haunted in this apartment complex. And it's just so blatant, and it was just the most obnoxious thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's a team here in Oklahoma. You roll up in somebody's neighborhood with that, and it's like, come on,
Yeah, well, I know that Capers. I know Derek Bartlett in Capers has a PT Cruiser with all that stuff.
No, yeah, PT Cruiser. He had one of them toaster cars.
Right, but that was
But
that was because of the
his
Ghost Walks, his tour.
Yeah.
He does a tour of haunted Cape
But he didn't
Cod.
have crap all over the car. He just
It
had
was
one
very
log.
tasteful.
It was very
It was
tasteful.
very
It was fine.
tasteful.
You know, and they do their thing out there, and that's cool. But yeah, when you
But
again,
you're right.
If you're
Like,
driving this thing to an investigation, like Tanya said,
yeah,
and you pull the stamp in front of the car, and it's like a walking, rolling billboard. That can get kind of weird. I mean, I don't even know any other way to explain it. It just seems like if you're, I think, and I always hear from groups like, well, we're very private, we're very confidential.
Whatever.
Then we do see things like that. I'm sure I know for a fact there's groups out there that they do play it right and they do keep things.
I know.
Yeah,
I
we
know
some that are very,
several.
very, very good at what they do, and they drive up in a regular car, don't have any stickers on it or anything like that. It's totally cool.
Well, even I have a Ghostly Talk sticker.
I took mine off my car.
Why?
Well, I hate the show.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you.
No,
yeah.
I took mine off the car.
I'm gonna cross off Ghostly Talking about Ghost Divas.
In all honesty, I took it off the car because you guys really want to know why I took it off the car because, again, so what's that sticker mean, Scott? Oh, boy. Here we go. Okay, well, here's what I do. And 3 hours later, this is the reason you don't watch shows.
Tammy has a Ghostly Talk sticker on the back of her car.
Good girl.
I have one down here in Texas.
Good boy.
Hey,
I never got
yes,
one.
I have one on my hiney.
Speaking of Tammy, we lost her again. Can we get her back on?
Oh, crap. Okay, sorry about that. I got so wound up in our bitch session here that I... Hang on for one second.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
all right. What? I'm not allowed to
go
talk?
ahead.
Oh.
No, you're not allowed to talk, Doug. It's just... No.
I love being a non-host. No, what happens is that we've talked a lot about...
Talk into the mic.
I know, but I had to check the time, and the time's over there.
Sorry,
I'm
not yelling out the time.
We have 9 minutes, and we have done, like you said, it's been quite a session, right?
I shouldn't say that. This is actually a very productive session.
Even I've dug on a lot of things, but what do you think paranormal groups and/or the paranormal radio talk shows and/or the paranormal field itself? What are we doing right now? What needs to be enforced rather than doing if you keep doing negative reinforcement, eventually someone will get it, but it's not as effective as positive reinforcement according to some psychologists.
Yeah.
So positive reinforcement. What's been going right, everyone?
I'm thinking.
Me too.
I'm hearing crickets now. What the hell's going on?
Well, wait. Now, I got something. A lot of people are starting to write, and they're starting to put these stories in literature so people can read them for future generations. I think the people have improved on digging up the history and why a place could be haunted versus, it just looks spooky and let's go check it out. I really think that's... Since the day I began doing this 10 years ago, I really think that has improved. And, I really think putting these stories in literature, not, my ghost hunting team's diary. I'm talking why places are haunted and, with good numbers and statistics. I think that's really improved. And that's probably about all I got.
Well, I also like a lot of the radio shows bring on people like Sally Rhinefeather and people like that to not only talk about different things of parapsychology, but also show that there is a background of the field besides the current TV shows. Oh, yeah. And that also sparks a lot of people to go and say, hey, there has been research done 150 years ago on some of this stuff, and force people to go and learn about some of this stuff instead of just turning on the TV and say, "Damn, did you see what he did this week?"
Well, yeah, and when it comes to the radio thing, really quick, I know myself, for the booking thing, when we book guests and have people on the show here, I know it's changed for us over the last couple of years that. Some of the finest guests that I think we've had on the last couple of years have been people that I literally went out and begged them to come on the show. They were people that really aren't that much in the public eye.
They didn't want to come on the show.
Some people were like...
They're like, why do you want to hear from me?
Why do you want to hear from me? But there were some people that may have wrote a book like 20 years ago or something like that, but it was a fascinating subject, and I begged them to come on. And those were some of the best interviews or discussions we've had in the last couple of years. And I think that's what...
Besides this one, of course.
This one's pretty cool. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
The best one was at the Bunny Ranch, the hookers. That was our best show.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
But the point is I think the best people to have on the as far as the talk where these are 3 radio shows convening here. The best people I've found are people that we had to go out and get them. We had to go out and get them. We had to talk to them and go, look, this is what we're doing here. I want to talk to you about this. I think it's fascinating, and let's discuss this thing. And we, I don't want to, knock on people that contact us and give us an entertainment resume, but it don't say much about, what do you have to say? That's how many times can I ask it? What do you have to say? What idea do you have? Do you have an original thought that may help us out down the road with this field? So that's just my 2 cents on that. I didn't mean to jump in on you there, Pete.
Oh, no, it's fine. You're making. I agree with you totally.
Anybody else? Positive things, good things.
Well, my thing is when we started doing the investigations, there weren't a lot of instructions on what we needed to do, and we kind of all learned from communicating with each other.
Yeah.
By having radio shows, we're taking what we have learned and we're educating the 2017 other people who are going to be doing it this year, and maybe passing on our information that we get from the people that we have on the show, and we're doing more education by the correct way, by telling people the correct way to do it, not to learn it by watching television, because that's not necessarily right. But we know the people that know how to do it right, and we're telling you this is how you do it.
And that's in line with it. It's we essentially as independent shows, right? I mean, I don't know.
Straight up independent shows.
We're independent. We do it in basements, in haunted wineries, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a production crew who's going to tell us what to do. So
No.
what happens is we have to do it ourselves, which is a lot of work.
We break phone lines, and we lose our minds, and we start laughing on all kinds of things.
But I think it's
happen.
worth it in the end because we are masters of our own destiny in that sense, and we get to make the show something that we will hopefully be proud of in the end. And if we don't, there's nobody going to slice and dice it and leave it on the cutting room floor, right? That we've never met before because they're on the other side of the country, right?
Yeah.
It's just us. And so hopefully by the end of a show, I will have either said something interesting. No, that's probably not going to happen.
It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't happen.
Well,
but I hope.
But I
There's always hope. There's always
Did you say something, Doug?
See?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Anybody else out there? Positive things. We're running out of time here, unfortunately. Positive things. Anybody else?
Well, I think in bringing it to the mainstream, in a way, is a positive thing. Making it popular. A few years ago, people didn't talk about the paranormal. I think somebody said that earlier. There was a stigma attached to it that I think is no longer there.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's a fantastic point, Janice. It really is.
I think Expiro Productions is a positive thing.
Expiro
that's another thing that I do think is very, very positive. When you can make fun of yourself, when you can make fun of what's going on, you can make fun of it and learn from it. Because obviously we took wide stereotypes and had a freaking blast.
But you know what's scary is that in all of that making fun of everything so much that there were people that were seriously butthurt because they thought you were making fun of them.
Oh, absolutely.
We got so much harassment over that stupid slap thing. Oh my gosh! Because
you know what? The thing
thought it was her, and we weren't even. It had nothing to do with that person.
Right. And the thing is that still haunts us because even though we make fun of people, because if they put it out there, we have a right to make fun of it, and they should laugh about it because they put it out there, even though they thought it was serious. It was funny to somebody else, or to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we're still getting slack from.
We take
from
crap.
that.
I know we take crap all the time. We people say stuff to us, and we go, "That's cool. Don't listen." I don't get
in the chat room here. I posted Amanda and we did a funny little recreation of the Taps jacket tugging episode that took during their live broadcast, and I posted it up there we're making fun of that whole thing, and we did it on our own way and all this. But if you go to the YouTube and read the comments, I mean, they're nasty. They get nasty.
Mad.
Well, that's yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm like, do you not see that that's like trying to? It's funny. Yeah.
There are some people who need some
mental health.
Therapy.
Yeah, therapy. Some
medication.
They need to watch some comedy shows occasionally and try and get the gist of it.
They need to remove the stick, bottom line.
Unfortunately, we need to remove us from the air tonight. Because this is like the topic.
I want
to point a couple things, really quick things out, though, about what we did here tonight. Did you guys, everybody on the line, did you guys enjoy yourself? And once we got things rolling, I mean, did you guys have fun?
Yeah. When do I get the check?
Okay, good.
I'll bring it to your house personally.
Now, I want to do more of these things down the road, but the point, I think, is that, we all agreed on a lot of things tonight, but we didn't agree on everything, okay? And that was what was beautiful about tonight, is that...
And we're still friends at the end of the day.
Everybody can sit here and talk about this stuff. Yeah, we can talk about this thing. What the hell's going on?
Don't let him get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a beautiful thing. Doug and I don't agree on things. Brian and I don't agree on anything. But it's like we're all still here and we're all still on this line. Yeah, and there hasn't been any fights. And that's what I think. I think being working together and doing stuff in this field is all about. And that's why I think I consider this a success. So I want to thank each and every one of you on the line. Amanda Wagaman, Janice Oberding, Tammy Wilson, Tanya Hacker, Tanya Kaiser, Pete Haviland, Roughhouse, the one and only Roughhouse. You guys, I can't thank each and every one of you enough for joining us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
us. Thank you, guys.
Don't leave us just yet. Stay on the line. You're not off the hook yet.
You're not off the hook.
Guys, Doug, it's all you, man.
I want everybody to know that that was the Ghost Divas, www.ghostdivas.com, and also a Parahub at parahub.org.
Good friends of our Supernatural Radio Network, a great. Thank you guys for helping us out.
Exactly. There's links up at our website at ghostlytalk.com. And, of course, before that, we were talking with Dr. Sally Rhine Feather at www.rhine.org. And her book that's been out for 4 years now or so is called The Gift. But we were talking about that and so much more. I want everyone to keep thinking and talking and enjoying the paranormal.
Think for yourself, for God's sake.
Think for yourself. And, of course, also remember that we will not be here next Sunday. We'll be doing a replay.
We're going to be in Decatur, Illinois with the Ghost Divas.
Yes, and I want everyone to look that up for the 13th annual, was it Lucky 13 conference?
Haunted America Conference.
Haunted America Conference in Decatur, Illinois. Look that up. If you're anywhere near Decatur looking for something to do, definitely meet us there. And then, so until 2 weeks from now, this has been Ghostly Talk, and I've been Doug.
I've been Scott L.
I'm still Bonnie.
And on 3, everybody say goodbye on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hi.
Bye. Bye.